Okay, guys, so you're welcome to today's task. We're doing the web jQuery. I had already done this, but I encountered some Wi-Fi disconnection, so I had to reconnect and we did this video. So let's dive into the course. Let's go. So jQuery is just basically built on JavaScript. It's a code model that enables you to manipulate your HTML code, make it more user friendly and user interactive to the end user. Okay, so basically, since it's built on JavaScript, you want to import it in a script tag, and then this particular line is just trying to say that okay, there's a jQuery um, file that we want you to import into this code. So without doing this, your jQuery code will not work. So we are trying to import like jQuery itself, so that every syntax of jQuery that you write would be understood by the code. You understand? So this is like the latest version. There might be another version. So you can see this one is version 3.2.1. So basically that's it, and go through the results and let's get started. So before we start, I've created the directory already. Where is it? What's going on? Okay. So I've created the directory, so I'll create my readme. So I'll echo um, jQuery. Sorry, into my readme.md. Good. So I have my readme, and one thing I noticed is that we had jQuery. The file that we'll be needing is um, from 0 to like 10 or something. So I'll just say I want to create those files from 0 to 10 to 9, right? And it should be called 0 script.js, 1 script.js, and all that. So I'll do that, and then we have that. Okay, so we've created 0 to 9 scripts. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be using my Java VS Code to test my code, because it's much more easier on there to test. So I've created the files, these two files, which is going to serve our HTML, and this one which will serve as our jQuery or JavaScript. Okay, so I mistakenly check this as done, so I can uncheck that one, and so also this one. So basically we've done this, guys, and we've created this. So first I would copy my test file, which is 0main.html. So I'll copy it, and as you can see, the jQuery syntax at the top here as here is not imported at the top over here. So it's trying to tell us that we're not writing a jQuery over here for this particular task. But the jQuery or the JavaScript file that we'll be writing is being imported below. And the reason why it's below is because it wants all the HTML to load before it now applies everything that we write in JavaScript on those HTML. If you put it at the top, it might not function well because JavaScript will load before the HTML. Okay, so it's best to put it below, and if peradventure you put it at the top, you have to enclose it in a function that enables that once your program sees it, he knows that okay, let me skip this for now and then load everything and then come back to it. Okay, so basically that's it, and let's get started. So the first one is we said that we should write a JavaScript that will update the color of header to red. So once we have header here, and then it's a pure JavaScript, we should use document query selector. So I'll say document query selector, and yes. So because it's below, I don't have to wrap it in a function. So I'll just paste that here, and then I would say that I want to um, select the header. Okay, so it says that we should style it kind of. So I'll say I want to style it, style, and then I'll say dot color is equals to, so I can just say red over here. So we should change the header. So I've selected the header and I'm using style, which is CSS, and I'm giving it a color red. Okay, so this is plain JavaScript. So this one is not part of the resource, so you can just learn this on your own. So this one is just for this task, and the rest will be jQuery. So you don't need to really worry about this syntax of JavaScript. Okay, so the next thing, I've saved it in a file, so you can just go to the file and double click on it, and that should open, I think this, but let me just open. So you can open, so it has opened it in a new tab, and as you can see, it's red already. So initially it wasn't red. So how do I know that? Let me select all and backspace and reload. As you can see, it's not red, and then once I redo and save and reload, you can see it turns to red. So I can just copy this guy and then come to my code over here, open my first one, vi0 scripts.js, and then I would insert it into it. So basically that's it, and we're good to go. So go to the next one, and the next one says, so we select this one as done. So we copy the file, the test file. So I'm testing on my this. So I reset that. So now it says that it wants to import a file called 1, but ours is called 0 for now because I don't want to be renaming this one. So let me delete this and open the file. I think this is it. So if I reload, you will see that we have it now. So now we are using jQuery, and it says that we should use jQuery, right? So you can't use this, you must use jQuery API. So write a JavaScript that updates here. So we are doing the same thing. For jQuery, we have to have a selector, an event, and whatever we want that event to do. So I'll select with $sign, open bracket. So I'm selecting the header. The header is not case sensitive. So I'm selecting the header, and then the event, I'm saying that I want to add a CSS to it. And CSS collects two attributes, two parameters. One, the attribute and the value. So I'll say the color, let me put it in quotes. So the color should be red. So I could just say red and do this. Did I reload it before? So let's see. As you can see, it's red. Or I could just say hash 1 2 3 4 hash ff 1 2 3 4. So if I still do this, it will still reload. I could also just change this place to blue. Sorry, blue. And if I reload, you can see that it's blue. So let me just use what we were given. This one, so it's red. So this is for the second one. So I'll just copy it here, vi1. So mostly I want to use Emacs in this task because when we start to write a long one, pasting it into vi with paste might disorganize it, but with vi and with Emacs it works well. So I think we're done with that, and then let's move to the next one. So this one done and dusted. So write a JavaScript that, so you will notice that they imported the jQuery guy over here, and then still import our file. So I think that's what will be done in subsequent tasks. So let me copy this and see. Sorry, we'll go to VS Code because that's where we are testing. Because we have to test in this because there's no one to test for us. I think ALX haven't developed something that could test the color of, because it's a visual thing. Probably an AI could help. Maybe that might be your project, so you can work on something like that. Anyway, I think that would be very fun. Okay, so what else do we need? Write a JavaScript that update the text color. So we are doing something else. We are updating the text color of the header to red, but when the user click on this div red. So if we reload the page, you see that we have this. So inside the div red, okay, we have this guy called red header, and this is it. So once you click on red header, it will change this guy to red. So to change the header to red. So the selector, when the user clicks on what div header is what, it's an ID. So we can just say hash red underscore header, okay, or though we have to put it in quotes, and we could also say div hash, right? I think that's what they use, div hash red header. So we could also add div if you want, but let's not add div for now, and let's see if it's still gonna work. But it's always good to add div just in case we have some multiple of something or so. So select the event that whenever you click. So there are so many events in jQuery that, but you must know the click. It's very important. And then what do we want to do once we click? We want it to perform a function. So I'll say a function. They call it a callback function. So open this braces and open this. Remember that once we end this click, the event close bracket, this one is supposed to have a semicolon. So I'll put this, and then once we've done that, it should select the header now. So the header, and then sorry, it's not properly spelled. And I'll say .css, what we did before, and I'll say the color should be red. FF1 2 3 4, and then we'll end it with semicolon as well. And this. So once we open it, reload it, click on this. Are we done? Let me add div to this guy. I'm sure it's not the one causing the issue. Div the click function header.css. It's header, right? Yes, first system. So why is it not working? Okay, so sorry, I'm supposed to rename this one to 0 because our script is not saying it. Okay, so what's going on? Okay, it's reloading. It doesn't update. This one is still loading. Does it update? Yes. Let's see. Yes, as you can see, when I click on red header, it's changing. Right? So basically that's what we want to do. I have to just change it because this one is just for testing. So for this, open cut. Did I just okay? I copied it. So this one is two scripts, right? So ls. Let me still use vi for now, and then in the next one I'll be using emacs. Paste it because I know this guy would be okay. I think one tab is there. All right. And then yes, once we're done, we push it to GitHub and then say done. So write a JavaScript that add the class red to the header element with when the user click on. So when the user click on this guy, so first we have to copy this guy, the test file. So I'll test it on VS Code. And then same thing we had. Let me delete this. My system is hanging a bit, so sorry for that. It's hanging. I thought I pasted something new here. So basically, I want to. What's wrong with this thing? Good. So I want to change this one to 0 scripts. Fine. Maybe it's the same content. Let's see. About 2017. First HTML page and okay, it's the same thing. So now it says that what are we doing? It says a JavaScript that adds the class red to the header element. So we have to look for the event for adding a class. So if we look at add a class red to the header, so this header does not have a class, so we have to add a class attribute, that is dot red, right? So class equals to red, so we have to say class equals to red inside this title, inside this header. Where is the header self? Yeah, inside this piece. So that's what we have to do. So for this part, we just need to see it. So what I'll do is I will come down here and say inspect. Okay, so I'll be able to see the HTML code I'm writing. Okay, so this is the HTML code I'm writing. So this is the header. The header does not have anything, and this is it over here. So what I'll do is now I would say write a JavaScript that. So we're using jQuery. So the first guy I'm selecting is what are we clicking on first. So write a JavaScript that adds the red header element when you exactly click on the header. So when you click on this, we want to add that. So put this, enter, Ctrl V, we add that. And when the person click, we'll call a function. Remember that this one would end with a semicolon, and then the function open braces. We call a function, okay, and then this, enter. Yes, good. So now we then open braces. So what do we need to do? Write a JavaScript that add class. So we want to add class to this one, so that's what we're doing. So to add class, we're going to use the add class event. So we are adding class to which guy? We're adding class to the header. So I would say my header is here. That's what I want to select, and then I would say dot add class. Okay, so remember that the C is capitalized over here. So in jQuery, the first ones are in small letter, and then this one will be in capital letter. So that's the event, and then we'll close it with semicolon. And we are adding what class to that header? We're adding red. Okay, so basically that's it. Yes, so if I come here and reload this place, as you can see, let me open the body. The header does not have any class. So if I click on red header, you can see that class red is being added, right? Okay, so that's it. It worked. So this code is working. So I'll copy this. Let me exit and copy that in this. So this one is for tax 3, I guess. So I'll VI 3, or let's Emacs like I promised. Emacs 3. So I have the Emacs app itself, so it's going to open and it's going to take time to open. So that's why I don't like really using it, but it's a very nice app. And I installed it from the terminal over here. I was trying to install the normal terminal inbuilt Emacs, but it installed that instead. And yeah, it comes up whenever I run the command Emacs. So I'm waiting for that to open, and while that is loading, should we go and continue, please? Maybe I'll just use VI after that and just edit the tabs myself. So Emacs is still trying to open. Anyway, let's go to the next one. So we are done with this, but we haven't pushed the code. So I don't know what's wrong with Emacs. Let me try and interrupt the. Yes, so VI3 and paste this, and then this one tab is okay. So I think we're done with that. So let's go to the next one. So I'll copy this guy, come here, come to the HTML, and then paste it here. Good. So come here and reload the page. So this one is green, and what do we need to do? So remember, I need to put this one at 0 for it to work. And yes, so it says we should write a JavaScript that toggles the header element. So a JavaScript that toggles the header element when the user click on div toggle header. So div toggle header. Let's first load the HTML. So this, when you click on this, we are going to toggle the class, right? So we are going to toggle the class. That is, we are going to give the header two different classes, one for green and one for any other color that it's being specified. So the header must always have one class, which is red or green, never both. If the current class is red, the class must be updated to green and the reverse. So you can't use this, we have to use jQuery. So the first thing is we're going to select the div toggle header, right? And then I would say once I click on it, what should happen? I want to have a function. Yes, good. So what should happen? So the next thing is I'm going to select what I want something to happen to, and that's the header tag. Okay, and then what should happen? So there's a guy called toggle class. Remember, the C has to be in capital letter, and then I would end it with a semicolon. And inside toggle class we would have the two classes that we want, which is the red and the green. Okay, so basically that's it. And if I click on toggle header, okay, it won't work now. Let's reload. Toggle header. Okay, so sorry. Where is it? So this is the body. So as you can see, the header, the class is green, and if I click on it, it's supposed to change to red. Let me see. So we have an error, and it says, let's see, from the JavaScript, toggle class is not a function. Okay, I didn't spell my toggle well. So that helps us as well. So let us reload it. And as you can see, the color is changing. That's the body. So the class is red right now. So if I toggle it, can you see the class change to green, red, green, red, green. So these are just events in jQuery. So let me cut it. So I'll paste this into the 4, right? Yes. So vi4 and paste it here. Let me just save it like that because it's supposed to work that way. Alright, so let's go to number 5. So I'll copy this guy, paste it in my HTML. Yes, and I need to change this guy to 0 because I'm just using it to test. And reload this page to see what's there. So it's almost the same thing that is different, right, actually. So what do we want to do now? It says, sorry, it feels so stupid. Write a JavaScript that adds a li element. So there is a particular guide which is HTML to add elements, value to manipulate value, retrieve value, and what else? I think HTML value and is it class? Can't remember. But anyway, let's get into it. We have HTML, we have val, and we have one other one. I think it's class. I can't remember. So let's see. It says so the new element must be this. So it's going to add this element when a user click on this. So this is what we are clicking on first. So do $sign and then this and then paste this. So when we click on it, alright, we have a function. Okay, good. So what do we want to do? We want to, we now selecting. The unit must be added, so we have URL my list. So URL my list should be somewhere around, yes, URL my list, okay, dots. I think you should have dots, yes, because it's a class. And so we select that. And then what should happen to it? We want to append, so we could say I want to add this guy to it, to where? To URL my list. So I could use the append and this and paste. Okay, so I could use append that you should paste it. You should append this to it. So let us test the code now. Is it add item? Yes, as you can see, it's appending that item to it. So I could also use HTML here. There is one guy called HTML, and if I should reload here and add item, why is it not working? I think .html should work. I don't know why it's not working. Anyway, for this, let's still use that append. I think it's HTML will work. I think .html is actually collecting and placing the HTML, so it might not work. Okay. So that append work now, and let's copy it, and so that's basically it. vi5 enter, paste. That end is with a closing. I'm supposed to end this with a curly braces. Where is it? I didn't put it here. Yeah, it's supposed to end with a curly braces. So still working without them. Is it why the HTML didn't work? I'm trying to see why it didn't work. But anyway, it's supposed to end it with a curly braces anyway. So basically that's it. I think probably with time we'll see what the HTML can do, because I'm very sure we used it here somewhere around in this particular code. So now let's go to the next one, and I'll copy this and paste it here. Come to this part. Paste it here. So what do? Enter this. We don't need you right now. So this. So this one is type 6, and it says write a JavaScript that update the text. Yeah. So the third one I was waiting for is the text. The text is the one I want to remember after the HTML, after the val, and then we have text as well. So write it. So I think that one is for updating majorly. So the HTML, the val, and the text. So updating and retrieving. So with a JavaScript, write a JavaScript that update the text of this header when the user click on this. So when you click on this, so I'll copy this guy. Not properly. So so what do? I say this and dot click when you click on it. So why do I keep putting it inside this? Dot click when the user click on this. You have the function called and then what should we do? Select the header, right? So we select the header, and I think dot text. So so we are updating the text elements to this. So I will say I'll copy. So that's what I wanted to do for new header. So new header. I think this is fine, but this one has to be import. That's why we're having error over there. Yes. So come back here, reload. When the user click on update function, update the header. Update the header. Okay, the 6 that is there is supposed to be 0. So it's 0 here. Now reload. Update the header. As you can see, new header. So that one is for replacement majorly. It's not for appending. That's why the .html is not. So I could replace the HTML of a particular one with the .html, and if there's a value, we could replace the value as well. So this one I'll copy it and let me just cut it and put it in the. Which one is this? I think this is the previous one. So vi6, and then I'll paste this guy over there. Yes, good. So we're done with number 6. Number 7, copy the text So come to the page, load the page, start with this. So it says that we should write a JavaScript. So this one we are working with APIs now. Write a JavaScript that fetches the name from the URL. For API, we have two methods of solving them. Okay, so we have two methods. But let's see if we can go through the easy route or the hard route. Okay, so sorry. Number seven. So the API and okay, the source script is here. Script is here. Good. So uh, the first thing, the best thing to do with API is one, we can just wrap it in an empty function. Okay, so just call this, and I would say a function. I say we are doing a callback function that we've been doing since, and then this, and then this. Remember that this one has to have a semicolon, right? So good. So what do? We say jQuery, and jQuery comes with this dot get instead of getting the header, because it's a link. We just use dot get instead of the dollar open bracket and then the tag we want to get. So we can use it. So we can use that one as well. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to open this and I want to get that URL. So this is going to fetch us the data. So you can call the data or just let me paste it here. Right. So yes. So I've pasted this get inside here. Sorry. Yes, good. So get, and then get we could also allow it to collect. Get can get another function. So let me just put the function down so we can see it. A function, sorry, get can have a function, and the function would collect the data that it gets from that call, and also maybe a status code. So we have a test status. Okay, it gets two attributes and collects two parameters, and then we have this again. So the get collects the API, and then we have the function that receives the data and this. So we could also just call this trying to see what we'll get in response, or you could put it on your this paste it here and press enter. Okay, so that one is loading. As you can see, this one is now arranged kind of. So we have name, we have height, and we have some information about the movie or something. Okay, so back to business. So this one, let me put it at 0, and then come here and say after that. So what are we told to do? So the name must be displayed in HTML tag inside this place. So we want to display the name inside it. So once we open that function, and then we can then hold this tag, and then we want to display the text inside it. So we can say a text. So here I can then use append, I guess. So data dot the name, because when you check, we have an attribute for name, right? So if I do dot name, I'll get this. If I do dot height, I'll get 150. Okay, so dot name, and let me end this with a semicolon. And I think that's it. Let me reload this page. So as you can see, it fetched it. So if I say dot height, it fetched it. Okay. So Control Z. Oh, Control Y. Dot main. Yes. So it fetched the API for us. So basically that's it for this. So the get function. So let us without this function guy as well. I think it should still work. Child function. Okay, good. So let us reload it. So without it for now, it still work. So the function that we created is I could just write document ready function, and that would allow even if we paste the scripts at the top, that would make everything load before it runs the script. Okay, so we could just use this one as well. So just copy this. So basically, jQuery will just allow us to write less code. So vi7. By the way, I'll just vi7. Paste it. As you can see, it's not ordered. If it was Emacs, it would have sorted it properly. Okay, I think it's fine this way. The main objective is that you understand and you know what to do. So the next one is almost the same thing. I think jQuery. Where do we stop? So we're stopping at number 13 and we're at number 8 now. So number 8, let's be fast because I feel so sleepy right now. So copy this and enter. So this one is number 8. Copy this, enter, paste it, turn this one to 0, and come here. Okay, so let's see how fast we can. So we are doing the same thing for this, right? But the guy is different. The link is different. So the thing is, instead of this, we could use dot append as well with this. Okay, I've changed the code, but you can try dot append. And which other one? I think you could try dot should that be dot value? I think dot value. Yes, I think those guys should work. And you could do dot text, dot append, and you could try. Yeah, I think that's it. But we could also use another guy for that one. For this number 7, let me just bring back the function guy. So there's an Ajax method we could use for this number 7 that we do. So I just want to show you that one. So let me come here as well and reload this one to number 7. So I think this is it. Okay, so it's working. So now we could use dot append and still reload it. Yes. So we could also use another method, and that method is called Ajax. And for that, we just say this, sorry, dot Ajax. Okay, so we'll call a function like that. Let me delete these guys. Okay, so I'm still wrapping it in a function. You can still remove the function if you want. So we'd say dot Ajax, and then would call let's see, I think a list like this, a kind of dictionary. Okay, so we'll call a dictionary, and then we'll say the type that we want to get a get. So this method, I got it from one of the video in the resources. Okay, so you say comma, so that's the type, and then you have a URL, and then that will be in quotes as well, which is this URL over here. No, not this one. It's in the question. This API over here. So you can copy that. You can paste that there. So we have that, and then we'll put comma as well, just for the syntax. Enter. Good. So we can then say sources, and then this one would be where we now say function, and this one collect data. So that's the data that it gets from the fetch. Okay, and then to function data, then we have this, and then we say we should select where are we putting it into the div character, right? Right, and then dot you can just say text data dot name. So this one too, I'll add my semicolon, and I think I'm good to go. So what we did is we did Ajax, open bracket, close bracket, and then we opened these curly braces, and then we finished everything. Just say we want to do a get request. It's not necessary. We put the URL, and then inside the sources will be the key for the function. Inside the sources, we want to print do this function. Okay, and then that should work. So let's see if it's going to work. Okay, it's not working yet. So let's see what we did wrong. A.ajax type is get, the URL, and then the sources function data. Yes, and then the div character, the text, data name. I think we're correct. I'm trying to see what might be wrong. Let's see, is this on zero script? Yes, good. So we're trying a get request on this function, and $.ajax. I think we're good, except if there is no comma at the end of this, which there is. So let me just redo it again. Trying to see what is wrong. Okay, sorry, I didn't put it. Okay, it's there. The dollar sign is here. I thought the dollar sign wasn't at the function, this Ajax. Let me save it first. Function Ajax, this, and then we have our type is a get request. We have the URL, We have the success is not properly spelled. You see, one error could just lead to great loss. As you can see, we have it there. Okay, so basically this is the second method in which we could use. Okay, but I prefer the first one because it's much more simpler, which is, let me see if I can get back to it. Yes, this method, we put a $.get and then a function inside the get. Okay, and then we print whatever we want to print. So I think I prefer this one. So let's move forward to the next one. So this one is part 8, number 8, paste it, change this one to 0. So we are fetching this API as well. So we'll get this API. So as you can see, we get a lot of response here. Alright, so what do we need in this API? So I'll copy, come here, check all movie titles must be listed in this. So right, if that fetches the title of all movies. So we've refreshed it. So what do we do now? Number 8. So we'll say that so I could also leave it outside the wrapper function and just say this dot get. I could create a variable to store the URL and then just pass it into get. That would have been awesome, but I could also just do the normal thing, and then I think I have passed it. Yes, so this comma, and then would have a function because spelling has to be right in order for us to function well ourselves. Good. So let me end this with a semicolon. Sorry, with a semicolon, and the function will have data and probably status code. Data, and we could have the test status, but we are not printing it and doesn't need. But anyway, test status, that is status 200, all those status, we can get that from that. So now first I'll create a constant variable called movies, and I would give it the data dot. Let's see. So now it says all movies must be listed in an HTML file. This you must not use this, you must not use this. All movies title must be in HTML file. This. So movies titles, let's see. So these are the titles. So we have a result that is a list of all movie titles. So dot results. So dot results, and then I think that's it. I think we end it with a semicolon, and then we can then want to print those titles inside all your movie must in this tag. So all your movie must be in this tag. So we have to put them inside this tag. UL. So it's a list. Okay, so we then come here, $select that guy. So after we select it, we can just say dot append. So I can say dot append, and then each time it's appending, that's majorly what we want to do. And we want to do what it's in the list. So what I would do is I would say li, which is the opening list, and I'll add it plus the movie title, So I'm creating movie title, but we don't have movie title yet. But we have movies. Um, but we have the movies. So let me call this a movie title, and then we would see why we call it movie soon. And then I would add it with the closing tag. Okay, and I think that's all for that. I'll end it with a semicolon. But before that, we need to iterate through it and then put them inside each other. So I'll say movies, and then there's a function that says for each. I think for each should be small letter, and the each should be capital letter. For the e should be capital letter. For each, and then we'll call a function, and we'll say movie, and then I'll open a curly braces, and it's inside that curly braces that I would put this one. Good. So we saved all the results here as a list, and then this movies dot for each is iterating through all the movies. So this guy over here, uh, yes. So we have a function that ends this, and this should end the semicolon as well. Okay, so function movie, and then movie dot title. So where do we get the title here? We got the title from this. Okay, so movie dot title. Get the title from that. Okay. Let's see if it's gonna work. I feel so tired. So we got it. Why is it? I think there's a title that is not here. Is it? I think so. Oh, am I the one? I think there's just it's just the way it is. Let's see, a new opening crawl. Is that the way it is? Okay, episode opening crawl. Okay, the title. Okay, it's title based on title. Let's see the next title. This thing is so disorganized. I think there's a Chrome extension that helps you arrange the HTML and JSON. Where's the next title now? So I want to know if we got that part very well. Trying to see. I doubt if there's anything titled here. So let me just check here. We have the Empire Strike. Is there anything like the Empire? Over here. Okay, yeah, this is another title, the Empire Strike. So I want to see if there's any other title here before the Empire Strike. I'm not sure. So I think we are good anyway. So we created the movies, and we just looked through it. Okay, so I'll put this in my, that should be 8. So we're done with 8. So VI 8. it's going to disorganize it. Anyway, let me quit it and see if I can open it with Emacs 8. If I can open Emacs. Anyway, so this one says that we should fetch this API and then display the value of hello when the fetch in the HTML tag. So let me see, let this guy open. Is Emacs now open? I think it's not opening for my Emacs. I didn't write it well. Emacs 8. I think I did EMCAS, not Emacs. So let's try to open that. So this one is 9. After 9, we have 100. So 100 to 103. So we still have a quite long way to go. So write a JavaScript that fetches from this and displays the value of hello from the fetch in the HTML tag. So there's a HTML div hello. So this guy is going to put it inside here. So the Emacs is opening now. So he's going to put it inside here. So the Emacs is open. Let me still. So he's going to put that name here. So to paste Ctrl Y. Oh, okay. Undo is Ctrl X, Ctrl U. Oh, that's correct. Ctrl X, Ctrl U. Anyway, let me back that. Where's my VS Code? So let me copy this and then go to Emacs and then Y. So as you can see, it's ordered it and I've saved it. Okay, so I've saved that and let's see, let's go to the next one. So this one, I'll copy this, paste it here, and then change this guy. So now it's at the top. Now we need to wrap it in a function. Okay, so that's been said. We'll put this on 0 and then wrapping it in the function. I'll just say open brackets. So the function name will be document and then dot. Is it query? Ready? Ready? And then we'll have the function call. So with this, it will allow everything to, the document should be ready before the function is being executed. Okay, so we'll still use what we did before. Dot get will collect the URL, right? So get this URL. Let us try to call this URL and see what we get back. Okay. So we got hello, and the value of hello here is just salute. Okay, and then come here, paste that, and then put comma, and then function, open braces, close open curly braces, enter. Put semicolon at the end, and inside we want to get the value into something, right? Tab. So what we do next is, I would say this, I want to select the div hello, and div hello, right? And then what do I want to do? I want to add the translation of hello must be displayed in HTML tag div hello, which is so I'll just say no function is supposed to collect data as well. So let me just put down that down data and status code, but I could leave that for now and say it should I could say HTML or append data dot name. So you should append data dot name into this. Okay, it must be displayed in HTML tag. So that's why I'm using this. So it's going to display it in HTML tag. You can use you can't use this. We have to use this. Your script must work when it is imported from head. That's why we added this document ready function. Okay, and with that 2022 form. So let's see if it's going to say no, I didn't put this one here. What else am I missing? What else am I missing? I think that's all for now. Document ready, this, and then the function data. And then div hello data dot, is it data dot name? Data dot hello, not name. So check, replace this name with hello and then say hello. It's going to say salute. Okay, so good. So basically that's it. Copy. If I use append here, it should still work, but it's not going to put it in an HTML file tag. It still work, but it's not going to put it in an HTML tag. So if I check the last one I did now, where is the salute? It just say ID hello and it say salute. If I refresh, okay, I think it's still almost the same thing. Anyway, so basically I think that should work, and let me just cut it. So I'll put that in a I'll use Emacs to paste it as well. So Emacs 9. So we'll open that as well, and so it's opening fast now because I've opened it before. And then I've pasted it, save it, and close it. Good. So let's go to the next one. Number 9 is done. Number 10. Copy this guy. Open my VS Code. Copy, paste. Sorry. Copy, paste. So it's from the top. Let me just remove this too. JavaScript. What do we want to do? So are we still fetching? So now we are using document selector again for this particular task, and so it's another JavaScript. So now because the other one we didn't wrap it in a function, so to wrap this one in a function we have to do the document ready for this one as well. But for this one to be document dot add event listener. So add event listener. Okay, and then the brackets, and then we say DOM content loaded. So we'll add this guy, DOM content loaded, and then that is, it should load all the content first, and then we now give it the function that we did the other time in jQuery. Do function, and then this enter, semicolon at the end, and I think we are free. Then we can then do document document dot query selector. Okay, so we want to, what we did in the beginning, the header, and then we want to style dot color. What we did in the beginning, we just want to wrap it, and then we can just say red. We can just say red, and we can end it with a semicolon. So it says that write the JavaScript that update the text color to red, but now this one is being added. So, and that's this advanced business. So what I will do now is come here, reload. Yes. And as you can see, it is red. I could use their hexadecimal to HFF1234 and reload. It's still the same thing. And yes, so this is it. We'll just cut it away, and that should be 100. So now I want to create 100 to 103, so I can just say touch 100 to 103. And then close this JavaScript.js. So I've created 100 to 103. So VI my 100 or Emacs my 100. So Emacs has opened, and save it and then quit it. So I've saved that. So let's go to the next one. So copy this guy from head to toe. Copy. And then Emacs. Come here. Paste this guy over here. Change this guy to 0. And then come to this side. So now I think this one too is being added at the top, so we need to put that document ready. So say this open bracket document dot ready function, and document ready, and what else? Document ready function. See how I forgot function, and enter. Good. So we have this. So the next thing is write a JavaScript that adds the li element from a list when the user clicks. So this one is a bit complex, and to do this it's a lot easier. So what we do now is we select each one. We are clicking on 3 different things. Okay, so we'll click on div add item, and then we'll have remove item and clear list. Okay, so div add item, the new element must be this. The new element must be added to UL list. So all these items that we're doing when you click on these 3 different things. So come here, reload the page. See, so add item should be, an item will be added, remove item, an item will be removed, clear item, clear list, all the lists will be cleared. So sorry. So we'll come to this script and say div add item. So we are doing for add item now, but it has to be in a quote and in a quote. I have to end this one with a semicolon and then to the end. Okay, dot good. So click, I guess. So once it's been clicked, the add item, what should happen? We should do something. So I'll say function, and let me just do this, put this, do that, do this, put this, enter that, and then okay. So I want to do something to the what was it? To this list, to this UL list class. So copy this and then I'll paste this guy here. What do I want to do? I want to append an item. Okay, so I want to append at this point. I want to append an item. And what's the item? It's a list. And what's the item? This. Just item itself. Copy. And then I would paste that inside. Can end it with a semicolon. And we're done with that function. Should it be? It should be inside. It should be inside the function. It should be inside a document function. So I'm done with that. And then I can create the second one. Trying to see if I'm not mistaken. I think this function is for this. Yes. So we are out of that. Yes. So it's supposed to be like this. And let me just copy these guys and then paste it 2 more times. Good. So this one is div add item. That one is remove item. So whenever we click on remove item, what should happen to that list? It should remove it. So there's an attribute called remove. So we are removing something. So what do we want to remove? Remove will not have this. It will not have this. So the remove would be based on this. So we'll say we want to remove the last item. So I'll just come here, and though there is an attribute for removing a last item, I think that should be is it? No, it's not for removing. I think that one is adding to the last item. So that one's like prepend or something. So for this remove attribute, we'll have this UL list and then we say the last item. And how do we do that? We say li the last. Okay, so that one would remove the last. So this function, we are selecting the last item, right, from that list, and then we are removing it. So this one is called clear list. Clear list. Okay, so once you click on it, on that list, right, so what do we want to do? We want to remove everything, and that one will just be empty. There's a function called empty. So I'll just come here, empty this one first, and then there's a event called empty. There's an event called empty. So with this we have empty and remove. These are the new ones that you've learned. Empty, which will empty everything. Remove, which will remove a particular year, and this one calculates 2 arguments. So with that, let's go back to our code and test. So if I say add item, a new item is being added. If I say remove item, so do add more item and clear list. Okay, so I think that's it, and you're good to go. So let me cut this one, Emacs Emacs 101. I think that should be 101. And then you can then paste it here, save it and quit it. So if I cut 101, it's already there. So we have 102 and 103 left, and let's go to it. So we are done with this as well. 102, 103. So I'll copy this guy and then do my 102. Oh shit. Okay, so this one I'll do this, paste it. Okay, and then I'll change this on to 0. And then my scripts. So remember, we're gonna have the document ready. Document dot ready, and then the function will be inside. Function. Good. So I think we're prepared. So the next thing is now we are fetching an API. So we're fetching an API. So we use two methods. So this one, let me just say a constant URL is created for this guy. Okay, so a constant URL is created for this guy, and let's see, 102. Yes. So write the JavaScript refresh and print element pointing, then you should use this API service. The input code must be this value. Let's see if this is actually calling anything. I'm trying to get the API so I can see what we are doing to this. So it's redirecting us somewhere else. So I think this last two, the APIs were not working or something. Let me try and see this one. Let's see. Language equals to English. So anyway, so for this one, sorry, let me come back to this one. Okay, and then what do we do? So I've pasted that there, comma. So I would say when the user clicks on the language, will be the value entered in the tag, which is English, French, and Espanol. The translation must be fetched when the user click on this translate. So first, let's go to this place. So yes, when the user click on translate, it's going to translate to a language, right? So when a user clicks on this, so you see this click, we'll call a function. Okay, sorry, I'll end that, enter. Good. So we'll do this dot get, and then I would say my URL, and then it's going to collect a function as well. Remember, it's going to collect a function, and the function will have our data inside, right? The function will have our data inside, and then what do we do again? So and then we have this, we have this. Good. So I would say um, this. So when the translation of hello should be displayed in the div hello. So that's where the translation will be displayed. So we put this one inside this, and then dot html. We just want to put the data and the hello part. So majorly fetching that enough, we need to now add the translation to this part for that to be fetched. I don't know why this isn't working. But majorly what we want to do is we would say this URL part would concatenate we'll get the value. So we use dot value to get value of whatever is entered at that box. If it is ES, if it is FR, if it is this, and add it to this and put it there. And when you fetch it, it's going to put out the output. So um I would say you should add it, concatenate it with whatever, with what we say dot parameter. Okay, and this parameter would be to be open braces language, and the language is the value of whatever is imputed into this input button translate. Input / btn underscore translate. Okay, and how do we get value? We use the dot value, dot val, and that's it. Okay, let's put a space there. So the parameter will be this. We are concatenating its parameter. So basically that's it. But the last thing is now how to use this. I think this guy is not here. I'm trying to see how to fetch this guy. So let me go to the to this, if how to use it is there. How to use this API to translate. So basically that's it. Basically that's what we want to do. Anyway, but I don't think it will work right now. I don't think it will work right now. So we're getting the get request from the API is saying moved permanently. I think the API has been changed. You see, we're not getting like a kind of result or something. Okay, let's see. I think it shows how to use. Okay. Hello visitor. So I think it's working. It's working. Say hello to your visitor in their language. You speak how to use. Getting a visitor to visitor IP children. So where is it? Slash language equals to. Yeah, I remember it's something like that. That's what I was doing here. If you notice, hello salutes slash language equals to English, and this one is still saying move permanently. If I added slash hello to this slash, everything is just moved permanently. So I think just the code, so it's not working properly. So anyway, we can just manage that one for now. If I come across, probably if it later works, I will let you guys know. But when I tried it, it's the same thing. It's not fetching the right data. But basically that's the idea about it, that we just need to concatenate whatever that value is, and the dot val will help you retrieve that value. Okay, so we'll copy this and paste it in Emacs 102 and then paste it. Yes, so for the last one, I've already created the file somewhere. Let me see the into users. cd on okay, let me just copy it. I think copy home let's see AMX 15 103 to this place. Okay, so that's where I want to hey, sorry. Is it 103.JavaScript I called it? Cat. Okay, good. So this is the code. So this is the one for the last one. So the same thing, it wasn't working. If you notice, it's still the same guy, right? So this one is saying that what I did here is I created this is the API, right? So you first create your document ready function. I think I clicked on this. So you click on this document ready function. I created it, and then we selected the translate when it's being clicked, right? And then when the language. So it says that write a JavaScript that fetches. So this one done. Write a variable that fetches and prints how to say hello depending on the language. The code will be the value, right? So let's see, translate. Okay, good. The code will be the value. So what we did is I created a function here called translate, and I just called the function here. So the function translate, what does it does? It's outside, but it's being called here. So it's still wrapped inside the document ready function. Anyway, so function translates constant URL. So we did the URL, which is hello salad, and we did whatever we are doing, which we will get the value which has been passed to that function. And at the end, we are printing that data to div hello. So that's what is being done here, and we are printing it out here. So this one is just some cases which we now need to explain what's going on at this point. So now let's see. The language code must be the value entered in this tag language, and that's something that's here. So the translation must be when the user click on translate or press enter when the focus is on this. So when the user click on translate or press enter when the focus is on this, okay, is on this language. So we then call a function and say if the key down function e dot key down equals to 30. Okay, so all this you can check what this e code equals to 13 gives us. Okay, I'll put the answer in. I'll probably mark the person that gets it right. This will be like a take home for you just to check what does this do. So basically that's it. This get call, this is the important one, and then this other two, and then we have this additional one, which is like a take home for you to check what this does. Okay, so if you have any questions so far, let me know, and I will see you in the next one. So we can just copy this. Okay, we've already copied it and paste it in our code and push it to GitHub. And that will be all for now. See you in the next one.